Adab, Sat Sri Akal. Welcome all of you. Today's episode is with full of enlightenment. The guest today is going to help us understand how to deal with our problems, how to deal with our mental peace, and many more things. She is clinical hypnotherapist, past life regressionist, and a wellness coach. And also, she is my mentor and a beautiful person inside and out. My favorite, a dearest, a person which whom I cannot forget for my entire life because she has given that teaching to me that how to be a person in life, how to deal that problems in our life, which I really want all my viewers should also learn from her. So taking not much of your time, please welcome Kamal Rukh Khan. Hi ma'am, how are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very well. How are you?
Thank you
Thank
ma'am.
you
It
for your
is
kind words.
Ma'am, you have always been inspiration to us from the first day when we had a session during the pageant time. And
Oh,
from that
thank you.
moment, the life has extremely changed for all the contestants who were the part of your sessions. So it is again
Thank
a
you so much.
nostalgic feeling to have you again in this meeting, ma'am. How are you feeling?
I am actually very proud right now of you. I'm absolutely proud of you. And like I said, I had to do this because I just was looking forward to seeing how this would go.
Thank
I'm
you,
very
ma'am.
proud of you. And of course, I'm feeling very happy to be here with you.
Same here, ma'am. So when the session started and when we came to know about you, that Kamal Rukh Khan will be our wellness coach, and we all Googled about it and we all tried to find out like who is Kamal Rukh Khan and how she got this much of interest in hypnotherapist because it is very out of the box concept, out of the box field
Yeah.
where we people are not aware of it. So what inspired you to become a hypnotherapist, past life regressionist, and do you think past life does affect our mental peace in this life?
So I was in a corporate job. I was working for a corporate company, I think for 10 years plus, and there was something which was missing. Like I was heading operations in Bombay, Bangalore, Calcutta, earning well. And then there was this, I was just not satisfied. And I would keep thinking, okay, next month I'm going to leave. Okay, the month after that I'm going to leave. There was something missing. And this was, then after that I got married, and 1 or 2 years into my marriage I started having problems in my marriage, as all marriages do. And I'm a big believer of counseling, and those days I was not still a hypnotherapist. I was still working in the corporate industry. And I suggested to my late, now he's no more, but he was alive then. And I suggested to him that, we should do counseling. And I kind of convinced him, etc., etc. And we went to this counselor, we did our sessions. And then she told us that, I think you need to go to a psychiatrist and do certain tests. All counselors tell you to do that. And when they did my tests, this is very interesting. When they did my tests, they diagnosed me as bipolar,
Okay,
which later on I found I was misdiagnosed.
this is
Meanwhile,
shocking.
so the minute they said I'm bipolar, I was like, okay, for fevers, you take medicine. So then even for bipolar, whatever it is, I had a 2-year-old that time, or maybe younger. She must have been hardly 8, 9 months, and I was like, no, 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 whatever it takes to get better. And this doctor was from a very big hospital and a very well-known name. So there was no question of taking a second opinion. And so I started taking these mind altering drugs. Okay. I remember it was in the month of December, January. And then somewhere down the line, I kept feeling, because I'm very spiritual generally also. And I used to read all these books on past life regression and all that. And I kept feeling like maybe I need to regress. And those days, I'm talking about like 20 years ago, those days, there was really no regressionist really in India. I mean, it was not that big, and not many people were feeling safe about regression. So most people who could do regression used to go to London and all and get their past life regression and come back. So somebody told me about this hypnotherapist who was in Bandra who also did regression. So I said, chalo, let me give it a shot. So now I was 3 months into my medicines, and these medicines that I'm talking about are mind altering medicines. They're not simple, they alter your brain structure. And so the minute he looked at me, he said, no, you're not bipolar. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, right, alternative medicine. Now he's going to tell me, what I am. Obviously, I'm going to listen to this big doctor. Why will I listen to him? But I was just being polite and nodding my head. And I said, and he said, listen, I will cut my right arm if you are bipolar. You are in no way bipolar. You have no symptoms of bipolar. He looked at my reports and everything. And eventually, I did sessions with him. I did hypnotherapy sessions with him. And I did sessions with him from April all the way down to about August, September. Now I had been taking medicines from December to September. That's like a good 9 months, right?
Exactly.
In the meantime, within 2 months of the sessions, I understood that I'm not bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
But that doubt remains inside, that no, but what if I'm wrong? What if I stop medicines? And what if I, harm myself? Because these are drugs which you can't just stop. You have to wean them off. So like
Yes.
if you're taking medicines every day, then you have to take it every alternate day, then you have to cut it to half, then you have to go twice a week, like that. You can't just wean it off. Like you have to wean it off, sorry. So
Mm-hmm.
eventually when I went to my doctor for my next appointment, he used to meet me every 3-4 months. My doctor in that big hospital looked at me and said, I can't believe I'm saying this to you, but you don't need to take these medicines anymore. And he said, normally bipolar and all is like, those blood pressure medicines, zindagi bhar lena padta hai. You have to take it all your life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, you're the first patient I'm asking, stop the medication. I've never done this. And that's when I realized, oh my God, this is like crazy. Because it was all the hypnotherapy that I was doing throughout the months. So because they are such mind altering drugs, I got worried because, he clearly, the hypnotherapist, he was also a homeopath himself. So he was a professional doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And he had clearly told me that, look, you are not bipolar. You've been wrongly diagnosed. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't believe him. I continued taking the medication.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm worried that what if the medication has had an adverse effect on my body?
Exactly.
Because I'm mortified. So after the doctor, I go and I get all my blood tests done, and all the tests, my numbers are normal. And my hypnotherapist couldn't believe it. He said, these kind of medicines that you take, even if you, for example, take a simple crocin for every day for a month, you'll damage your liver.
Obviously.
It's a small like a
Yeah.
simple crocin, like a
Yes.
paracetamol, you'll damage your liver. You
Mm-hmm.
have been taking mind altering drugs for 9 months and it did not touch your body. And I was sold. I knew exactly what I wanted to do then. I
Wow.
knew that this is what I want to do. I gave in my resignation. I asked him, I said, where can I learn hypnotherapy? And it just felt right. So there I am doing hypnotherapy. My daughter was about 2 by then. My mom used to, babysit her for me when I used to go for class. So I did it from the California Hypnosis Institute. Of course, I couldn't go to California. Sorry, I need to just make this phone silent. I couldn't go to California because I had a small baby. But mom was very nice. She, took care of my daughter while I finished my semesters. I finished my thesis, and here I am.
Wow. Literally, it was
Yeah.
the
Unfortunately, we always learn the hard way.
this experience, it was very dangerous as well as a life changing for you and for the people who are getting
Absolutely.
treated by you. We are very grateful to that doctor who has given you the wrong diagnosis of bipolar, and then you became a therapist.
Yeah. And meanwhile, in the middle, while I was taking these drugs, on the second month of the third month, I got pregnant. And I was so happy. I thought, okay, maybe this will be a new start for me and my husband and all that. And the doctor said, if you take these medicines, if you're 3 months pregnant and if you've taken these medicines, the child will come out to be mentally retarded or something like that. There'll always be a problem. Luckily, I was only 2 months pregnant. But my husband got so paranoid that no, 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 what if the child comes out like that? And I guess he was not ready. That I had, in the stress, I miscarried. I had to abort that child. So now the stress of having to lose a child, which I thought would in a way save my marriage, which by the way is the wrong reason. I understand now, to have a child. You're not supposed to have a child to save your marriage. You have a child because you just have a child, because you want the child. So there was the whole burden of, the whole bipolar medication, the stress of the relationship, plus losing a child. So it was like everything poured down together. And yeah, so, but yeah, things worked out.
I can
Things
imagine
worked
that
out.
phase
Things
of
always
your
do.
life would have been so difficult for you to come out of it. But hats off to
Yeah.
you just because of your passion which came into you for therapy. It has pulled you out of it, and now look at you. You are such an inspiration for all of us. I every time check out
Thank
your
you.
latest reels and your these small messages which you send us through your reels. It is so informative, and I'll make sure that my audience also follow you. I'll share the Insta page of yours and also YouTube page. So please do follow her.
Thank
She
you.
has got a very innovative way to convince you people that how to tackle that situation.
Yes.